not a game, it's a rich thing.
What's up, y'all? It is Tasha and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for stopping into another review of Married at First Sight. If you are new here, welcome. Do not forget to hit that subscribe button. If you are not new, drop down in the comments. Let me know what y'all thought about this hell of an episode that we had tonight. Okay, let's jump right in because I took a lot of notes and I don't want this video to take forever. Okay, because I'm doing it the next day instead of the night of like I usually do. So tonight we get to see the 1 month anniversary. So the episode opens on day 27 of marriage. Miguel is making breakfast. We see Newton is cuddling with Justin. Justin is like he is not missing Miss Maya. Okay, I mean, has he even checked on her? Kristen goes to make candles with one of her friends, gives her an update on the marriage. She tells her friend that married life in general is just as great as she thought it would be, and they just have so much fun together. Okay, Kristen, okay. Then she tells her about the conflict that basically they got into with Mitch talking about the whole flipping homes and him not really agreeing with it. And I'm just like, do you realize how ridiculous you sound that the moment you said, oh, things are great, marriage is everything I thought it would be, we have so much fun, you then turn around and is like, well, not so sure about how that's going. Like, just be real, girl. She then gets emotional and because she says it makes her think about her parents because she doesn't know if they will approve someone based on basically how they are treating her. And at this point, Mitch isn't necessarily doing anything completely detrimental, but he isn't treating her the best at this moment. So her friend tells her that it seems that there are pieces of her that he just doesn't value in her. And we 1000% agree. She then says she will be the best damn wife she can because if she's the best wife that she can be, then that means she will get the best version of him. And I'm just thinking, well, why does his happiness rely on you being the best version of a wife to get the best out of him? Why can't he be the best of himself apart from you so that he can just be a good person in general and then a good husband? Huh? Why does that lay on your shoulders, Kristen? I'm just not understanding. If y'all are just so happy and y'all have so much fun, make it make sense. Make it make sense. At this point, I feel like she is happy to be married, but not happy with the husband that she actually has for herself, okay? So we then see Morgan meet with one of her friends, and she tells her that, you know, Ben never stopped going to Justin about their issues daily. She says that Alexis came to her, or either when Ben is talking to Justin, he's had him on speakerphone, and she says that Ben is really making her out to be a really bad person. She says she went to the apartment to grab a few things, which was the clip we saw at the end of last week's episode of her just, you know, grabbing some things because she said if I would have stayed, I would have completely flipped out on him. So it was just best for me to walk away. She says she drove back to her place and then she realized that Ben went to Alexis and Justin's apartment because Alexis ended up calling her and told her. She then got upset all over again, which I didn't necessarily understand because it's like, I don't know what you want him to do at this point. She's like, I walked out. He kind of walked after me and I just kept walking because I just really didn't want to talk to him. But then why did he go over to Justin and Alexis's apartment? He should have been trying to talk to me about it. But you don't want to talk to him in this moment, Morgan. So I don't understand. And I don't necessarily fault Ben for going to Alexis and Justin's apartment and being like, hey, what's happening? What did y'all say? Because Morgan didn't tell him exactly what was said or what happened. So at that point, when she doesn't want to talk to him, the only thing he is left to do is go to the source of who she says told her and figure out what exactly the hell happened. Like, Morgan. Girl, so we see the clip of Ben at Alexis and Justin's apartment. Morgan is completely going off using every curse word that she can find. And then she starts to cry. And I have mixed emotions at this point because I really don't feel Morgan has 100% really given Ben a true chance since that man got COVID for the wedding. Like, since then, I feel like she has had this thing of, oh, but does he really want to get married? Does he want to, like, she was even questioning if he really had COVID because their wedding had to be pushed back. And I just realized since then, like, it's just been a struggle for her, and anything is just going to continue to set it off because things didn't start off the way they were supposed to, or she wanted them to initially, that it's just kind of all downhill from there. Now, I do agree that their information should be kept in their household, but I also, on the flip side, don't see a problem in Ben having a confidant in somebody, because I think you need to talk to somebody when you are going through things to get opinions, different perspective, advice, whatever it is. So it's just like, you expect him just to not go to anyone. I just want Ben at this point, just don't go to Justin, because Justin is obviously not understanding that when you are talking to, one of your male friends about their wives, and of course your wives know each other, leave her out of it. Like, keep it between the two of y'all and don't discuss it. And certainly don't have this man on speakerphone as he's trying to vent to you or talk to you about his wife. Justin, you just a little gossiping queen out here, okay? So we then see Justin goes fishing with his brother while Alexis drinks wine with her friend. He tells his brother that married life is challenging and Alexis feels like she's on an emotional roller coaster. Justin admits that he does these random outbursts and recognizes that it is draining for her. So because that's now draining for her, he then gets to be all in his head about, what he can do better and how to move forward. Alexis basically says that she has to help him recognize and self-reflect because he doesn't do it on his own. And in her doing that, she's losing a bit of her drive and she really feels herself shutting down if she's trying to encourage him not to shut down. Her friend asked if decision day was today, what would she do? And she was like, well, if I say no, I wouldn't be happy. If I say yes, I wouldn't be 100% happy. So I'm kind of just in between on what to do. So we see Stacia is making cookies with her mom. Stacia's mom is so pretty, and says that basically Nate needs to show her that he is falling in love with her through his actions, and she needs to know that he has her back and won't leave her. Daddy issues rearing its ugly head, child. She says she can't move forward in life until obstacles are removed. I was like, Stacia, girl, do you realize you don't have that type of hold and control over other people, and when they choose to address an obstacle, especially if you think your obstacle is their problem, you then don't have control over when they decide to fix it. You either stay in it while they're fixing it and work through it with them, or you leave because you can't handle that it's not being fixed as fast as you would like it to be. Like, that's not how any of this works. Her mom tells her basically it's sort of like picking at a scab. You just kind of keep, picking at it. But she wants her to really just, if you want to pick at it and then leave it alone. Don't go looking at the scab once again and stop revisiting those things. Her mom is opening up, let me get my words together. She says that, what's her husband's name, y'all? Nate. She says that Nate is opening up slowly to her, but then in the same breath, kind of what I want him to do hasn't happened yet as far as him opening up. And her mom is like, it's only been a month, right? And we're like, yes, mama, it has only been 1 month. We see each other because your daughter is out here acting a little bit crazy, okay? She says showing patience is hard for her, and she basically wants Nate to mirror exactly how she acts. Stacia's mom is then asking her really challenging and thought-provoking questions, which I really can appreciate. A parent that just does not side with their child for the sake of, that is my baby, I'm going to do and give her whatever she needs in the moment. However, her mom takes the blame for basically the trust issues that Stacia has. She says because what happened between her and her dad, that she feels like this is why Stacia is the way that she is, and really just blames herself, and really asks her to just be patient with Nate, and just allow himself to have the space and the feelings that he needs to have. And I just recognize in this moment as they're talking, every time like her mom tries to kind of challenge her thoughts or give her some advice, Stacia just has some type of rebuttal as to, but no, but so, however, like, girl, listen, be quiet and listen. Just be quiet and listen. It is now day 30 of marriage, so all the couples are happy, well, except for, Morgan and Ben. She's not excited to see her husband later on today for their anniversary. We see Mitch and Kristen get a visit from Stacia because she's volunteered to watch Luna because Mitch and Kristen are going out of town. And Nate wants a dog, so she wants to use this as a little trial run period. Stacia, girl, you are so uncomfortable with this dog. How are you going to take care of a dog? How are you going to take care of a baby that's going to be pooping and throwing up all over you, girl? Oh, okay. Anyway, Kristen gives her a little bag full of things, directions on how to clean Luna's fold, which I would be like, she'll be all right till you get back. And basically a full, daily schedule. And it looks like Stacia really ain't gonna make it. So her and Mitch and Kristen get to a quiet meme retreat, I believe is what it was, and they do a yoga class. Kristen says she just wants to have fun and she doesn't want to have any heavy conversations, which to me means you just don't want to upset Mitch in this moment. So they do yoga. Mitch grunts the entire time. Sir, can you please be quiet? Mitch says, they are finding really where each other edges are as they have pushed each other, to their respective edges. And Kristen is just over there like, gritting her teeth and smiling as to, I'm just going to keep nodding my head as to not rock the boat. And I hate that she continues to act and feel this way, y'all. Oh my God. So Lindy and Miguel, they go on a boat little ride as well. It doesn't look relaxing because it looks like it is freezing cold, but that's neither here nor there. But is it just me that I feel like every time Lindy is with Miguel, she gets this extra baby voice? Miguel, oh my God, what are you doing? Can you just look at him? Oh my God, this view. She gets this extra baby voice that drives me insane, y'all. When she talks to Miguel, I'm like, he's an adult that you're talking to. You're not talking to a 3-year-old toddler. He's a grown up, okay? She says that Miguel is everything she wanted. And I said, well, now that he's, covered you on his insurance so you can go see the effing doctor, I'm sure he's everything you've ever wanted. Miguel tells her that he's read an article that said people can get along if they have reliability and predictability. And he basically BS's and says, oh, well, your outbursts are, kind of, predictable and reliable because I know what to expect. That don't make no sense. And she shouldn't continue to have these outbursts like a toddler. He then says, because I've kind of seen you at your worst. And she's like, no, you haven't. No, you haven't. Oh, you just prepare yourself. And I just can't wrap my brain around why she is so proud or wears this as a badge of honor that she can be this type of person and have these outbursts and just say reckless things out of her mouth and acts like, oh, just wait, it's coming. So Nate and Stacia, we see, are headed to the lawyer's office to sign the post-nup. And now she says she feels like she can trust him more because they're getting a post-nup signed. She then asks the lawyer about joint accounts because she said, they have their separate right now, but eventually they'll want a joint and still have individuals. If they were to get divorced, what does that look like as far as 50-50? If somebody's putting in 90%, the other person 10%, they get what they put in. And Nate is like, I kind of agree that whatever you put in is what you would take out if we happen to get a divorce. And as for me, I don't know much about a post-nup at all. So my question would be, does this have to be done within a certain time frame of getting married? Because if not, why wouldn't they just wait until after decision day? Because I feel like some of these couples continue to act like decision day is not a real thing. I know none of us go in this getting a divorce, but you have no control over what the next person may say or do, okay? They may say no, you may say yes. So why are we making really such long-term plans so early? I don't know. So Mitch and Kristen get their wedding photos and their vows. I didn't pay attention. It was completely boring. These two just don't do it for me. They just continue to Jose a whole lot, especially Kristen. So they're like, Jose, it's just, you get over it sooner or later. They read their vows to each other again. Mitch says he thinks he could have done a better job of living up to his vows because he does feel a lot of affection for her. She says she has no regrets and she can see that he is really giving his all. So really there's no regrets for where they are. I'm like, you can see that he is giving his all. If this is Mitch's all, I don't want it. No, ma'am. No, sir. Keep it to yourself. I don't want it. So Lindy and Miguel are back home. Lindy says she is less anxious since meeting Miguel because he really does a good job of, kind of accepting her when she has her moments and really kind of calms her down. They drink champagne, go through their basket of photos and vows. And I fast forward again because I can't take Lindsay's voice. Morgan then goes to do martial arts because, for the third time, we have to hear how she is not happy with Ben. And, she has to let us know that she's going to see Ben tomorrow. And he just don't know what's coming. I said, petty. Morgan she's entered the chat. This is what's about to go down the next day. Okay, let's do it, okay? Day 31 of marriage, Alexis and Justin are making a little scrapbook, and Alexis says that marriage is challenging right now, but for their 1 month, she hopes they can just reflect on where they started. Justin tells her that he felt like he was trying to really work on everything at once, and after talking to his brother, really realizing that he needs to do one thing at a time. So she asked him kind of, why you felt like you had to do that. And he's like, I basically feel like I don't have enough time, because he's basically trying to fix everything before decision day, I guess, to show his best self so that they can both hopefully make informed decisions about if they're going to stay together or get a divorce. Alexis says that they can both keep trying and just make the most of the time that is left. But if she was only dating Justin, she would have left him. But because he is her husband, that is keeping her here. Not a good enough reason, Alexis. It's not a good enough reason. If you feel so firm that if y'all weren't married, you would not be with him, it should not matter whether or not y'all would be married, because that's just you being in a miserable marriage. Okay? Next, we see Stacia and Nate going on a little picnic for their anniversary. She asks what he has learned in the past 30 days, and she says that he wasn't sure he was doing his best. He said he wasn't sure that he was doing his best to show her everything she wanted, and then she dismissed what he did show her, and he was afraid of that. So he told her that, you really hurt me, and she asked him, was that because of, things that happened prior to? And he says yes, because it's really hard to open up when the other person is closed. And she's like, closed? Me? I'm closed? So she really didn't think she was closed. And I feel like this is Jasmina and Michael all over again, where Stacia is Jasmina and wants him to open, tell me. But then I'm not really going to share a whole lot of nothing that's going on with me, okay? But I need you to just continue to be vulnerable with me and spill your guts to me. And then, you just lean more into me. And then, I become the person that you want to be with. That's what I'm feeling like at this moment. So she asks him again about the love feeling. He says he feels like he is falling in love with her. And she's like, girl, this is what you wanted all along, which is why you keep asking this man. She then asks him again where they are on the scale, because, before he was a 4, and she felt some kind of way about that. So he says now they are a 7 or 8 because they have overcome a hurdle. Okay, Nate. Stacia is basically, of course, all smiles, because this is exactly what she wants to hear, regardless if it's true or not. It's music to her ears. Ben is at the place where he and Morgan got married, and he said he's going to surprise Morgan, but we already know Morgan is coming. She's going to be with the shits and guns blazing when she shows up, and Ben don't even know it, okay? So she comes up. She's immediately pissed. He gives her the flowers. She throws the flowers on the ground. She says in her original vows, she was excited. She was ready, for someone to be proud of her, to be her partner, to have her back. And Ben just is not that man, and her vows are not meant for him. I said, ooh, okay, girl. She tells him she's given him one opportunity to explain himself. She says Ben told her that he wouldn't share any of their conversations again, but he has consistently gone back to Justin. She brings up the nurse thing again and says that he also told Justin that his family is better than hers. Y'all, during this whole argument, whatever that white thing was that was on Ben's lip, I don't know if it was, you just need a little bit of chapstick, a little bit of dead skin coming off of your lip. It wasn't allowing me to focus into the argument 100% because I was just like, what? Wipe it off your lip. Production, somebody tell him to wipe it off of his lip. So Ben is trying to talk. She keeps over talking him and says he isn't listening. I'm like, well, you keep over talking him. So, I mean, I feel like he's trying to listen and then give you some responses, but y'all are just all over the place at this moment. She basically says she has lost her trust again and she doesn't care who he runs to after this, and any ounce of respect she had for him is gone and she completely leaves. Morgan, this looked like a whole produced, rehearsed argument read or whatever that she was trying to give Ben, and it just did not hit as hard as you maybe wanted it to, because it's just like the time had of course passed, and it's just like the argument is just, it just doesn't hit as strong when it's not fresh. And at this point it's just like we don't even care. Well, I don't even care, let me say that. I just don't know if editing cut out a lot or what happened, but the math just really wasn't mathing for me. And I feel like, again, she's really kind of looking for a way out. Morgan tells production that, they aren't going to get anywhere, and she is frustrated. She's like, but I'm going to go sit with him, and he has to own up to everything. He apologizes and says he will own up to all of it. So they go sit with Morgan. And I'm just like, Morgan, what is with this shoes and this dress, honey? Like, she comes off so hard and masculine almost all the time. Like, where is your soft feminine side, Morgan? I want to see her lean somewhat more into that, because it's always so rough around the edges with her. So Ben apologizes and said he talked to Justin multiple times, and she said she is tired of Justin being in the middle of their marriage, and it's the one thing she asked him not to do is to not keep going back to Justin and talk to other people. Ben asks, basically, just trying to talk to a person that I trust. She cuts him off and says that it's basically him lying to her face, because I guess he's telling her he isn't doing it, and then she's finding out in the back that he is having these conversations. How old, how recent they are, I can't really determine from what they're saying. He says sorry yet again, but we know all of this is for nothing because Morgan is not gonna let up on it, and we just all know this is just, she's not going to be able to get past this. So it's like we're just going through the motions, and we're not going to see any improvements from them going forward. It's just exhausting to keep hearing the same things over, because throughout almost this whole episode, every time Morgan is talking, it is the same thing over and over and over and over and over coming out of her mouth. And I'm just like, girl, say it one time and get it out your system, and let's move on, or let's leave. Let's just do one of the two, because I'm over it, okay? She says it would be easy to walk away, but she's going to continue with the process and show up every day. And she wants him to see her every day to see how much he has hurt her. And I said, so you just want to punish him? Is that the way you want to live for the next 30 days? Is that the way you think he wants to live for the next 30 days, Morgan? Like, girl, you being too immature at this point, and you just not making sense. But she says that it isn't over. They just need to walk away, because they just need to take a break, and he needs to stop talking to Justin. And at this point, again, Ben, I do think you need someone to talk to, because it's a lot to go through. Just stop talking to Justin, because motor mouth Justin is not going to be able to keep it to himself or keep you off a speakerphone. So those friends that you showed us really early on in these episodes, go talk to them about it. I know they're not going to completely understand what you're going through, but don't talk to Justin no more. Point blank in the period, okay? So then Ben goes back to their honeymoon suite alone, and their basket is there with their photos and vows, waiting on the bed, and it's completely awkward. He says he felt like he got punched in the face today, and things just took a turn. He said he was just venting, and then kind of all this happened. And I kind of felt sorry for Ben. Like, I understand maybe you shouldn't have said anything, but Morgan put 20 on 10, because I don't even feel like Ben knows your deepest, darkest secrets to be sharing that with other people like that. Like, it's just what y'all are going through, and y'all are going through a lot right now. Like, I'm gonna leave it alone. So it is now day 32 of marriage. We see Nate and Stacia. She says that they are getting matching tattoos of their wedding date, and I'm like, what the hell is wrong with y'all? I just don't know if Stacia thinks this is going to lock him in even further of, ooh, I can get him fall in love with me. We already got married. We got the posting up. Now let's get the tattoos, because then you really can't go nowhere. Y'all out here looking crazy. Stacia says it's going to hurt, and she is scared. Nate tells her, well, you'll have to push a baby out soon. And she just laughs and smiles, because, this is music to Stacia's ears of, just saying, oh my God, I'm going to have babies with you soon. Yes, that's what I want to hear. So they both stupidly get this tattoo. She thinks it's a gesture to show how serious they both are about the relationship. And I'm like, a tattoo? A tattoo that you can get removed? A tattoo that you can get covered up? Stacia, you looking real thirsty and pick me right now. Like, you just really want somebody, and I don't like it. So once again, we see the couples get together, and I'm like, how much are they going to get together this season? Because it's a lot happening right now, but we know it's for the drama of it all. So we see that they all get on this party bus. Alexis come on with this pink bodysuit, honey. And I was like, yes, body, yada, 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 yada. Wouldn't be something I would wear, especially not the glove situation, but she was giving body and I was here for it, okay? So they then have an awkward moment when they realize Ben and Morgan are not coming, and Alexis and Justin are like, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. He taking a mental health day. They just said they ain't coming. I don't know. Y'all know. They then ask how everyone is doing once they get to their restaurant, and Miguel says better than expected. Lindy says she is so happy, and because she's been able to really get away with murder in her previous relationships, and she doesn't want to do that here. But yet you continuously want to say he needs to reel you in. You want him to see this rough side of you. Like, make it make sense. Stacia says this process has showed her what she wants, but it also showed her that she has some work to do on herself as well. Nate says he has a bit calmer approach, and he feels that he is falling in love with Stacia, and he is very happy, you know, with his best friend, because Stacia is his best friend. Mitch says it's been really demanding and difficult as everything was new for him because he wasn't sure he had the capacity to even be a husband. Kristen goes to tell him that he's an incredible man and that no one doubts how hard he is trying. But she really struggles when he says things like he wasn't sure if he could be a husband when he signed up to get married at first sight. She says part of her feels like things, you know, are going so well because she is working so hard, but she's trying to realize, when do I stop compromising and, you know, just be myself and just not worry about whatever pressure Mitch may feel. And she's like, if I continue to operate in this way, I'm going to snap soon. But you continue to act like everything is great as well, Kristen, until you have these complete flip-flop emotions and situations where everything is great. I love her marriage is the best. And then it's like, but I'm losing myself completely and I don't like this feeling. So girl, which is it that's happening? So she says that she thinks when she snaps, she will lose herself. And Alexis says, girl, it's better to lose Mitch than lose yourself. And I 1000% agree. Ditch Mitch, okay? So they made it awkward for the table for everyone, but Mitch says he wants to encourage her to be her true self, and he wants to welcome whatever she needs to be and express. Justin then tells Mitch that he has made a lot of progress, and he is so proud of him. Justin, mind your business. Alexis, when it's her turn, says she doesn't want to talk in this moment and she just wants to listen. She then tells, you know, in the confessional that she just wants to protect her husband's sensitivity right now, and she thought it was best not to say anything. I thought that was a good move, Alexis. If you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. Justin then asks her if she has nothing to say, and again, she now has to speak, and I'm like, Justin, you should have just left it alone. But he says it bothers him that she has nothing to say because he felt they were doing well and they were comfortable. She then Justin then gets upset and begins to blow up and, you know, acting like nonchalant, asking for, you know, a refill on his drink and all this. And I'm like, you should have left it alone. You brought this on herself. When she said she just wanted to listen and not talk, she was not rude in how she said it. So you should have just let it be. And then maybe when y'all got alone, have that conversation to get further clarity if you absolutely needed that. But she tells him that he doesn't self-regulate and he needs to be consistent because right now it's like Mr. Jekyll and Dr. Hyde, or however that goes. She then tells him that he then says he is working on not having outbursts as he knows that's something that bothers her. In the moment, he continues to have an outburst. So I'm like, which one is it? Okay. She tells him that he has hurt her as she starts to cry, and although you apologize, it still hurts. He then tries to identify what in this moment has happened. She gets completely frustrated and gets up from the table and leaves. So she and Stacia goes to the bathroom. Justin then talks to the producer outside and the producer tells him that maybe she just needs her space. And then we hear what's the child's name? Alexis. We did hear Alexis talking to Stacia in the bathroom saying she feels like she has to coddle him like a baby and she doesn't have any children and she's basically tired of it. So yeah, they're not going to make it. Many of these couples are not going to make it, but we'll continue to watch for the next several weeks and actually see what happens. So let me know what you guys thought about the episode in the comment section below. Until then, I will catch y'all on the next video.